Sure. Just excited how the guys played. Go on the road and get a big win. Thought we played really, really well in all three phases and put the game away, early enough that we were able to get some guys that are beat up kind of off the field and play some young guys down the stretch, which was helpful with us, not having an open week this year. It's been a grind. So, a lot of good, a lot of positive. Mainly being bowl eligible 8 years in a row and continuing the streak for us since we've been here, and taking care of business one more week, trying to grind our way back into the mix in the conference race. So, taking a 1 week at a time playoff approach, and the guys handle it really well. So pleased with that. Big challenge ahead of us this week. Monroe's playing really good ball, and we've got to find a way to beat them. Fortunately, we got them here at home, but it was a track meet a year ago, 67-50, and it could be electric again this year. Both offenses are kind of catching their stride at the same time. So we expect a kind of a slugfest, a big battle between two good teams. So both trying to fight to scrap and claw our way to the conference race.
Thank you so much, Coach. Our first questions come from Luke Matheson. Luke, please go ahead.
Hey, Blake, you talk about the 1 week at a time mentality and scratching your way back into the conference title race. Great opportunity this week, obviously, with ULM. What has to happen for the Red Wolves to be able to beat those guys?
Well, just control what we can control is what we've been doing. It seems to be the, simplify things. We got so many young guys, inexperienced guys playing that we just, want to try to drown out all the distractions, simplify as much as we could, and just let them play. And it's going to be the same thing, being the most physical team up front, controlling turnovers, offensively and creating them defensively, and then playing really, really sound, in space. And in this game, it's even more important just because how athletic they are in the return game and offensively. So we're going to keep it that same way, same MO going in, and just hope that we execute well. I know both teams will play hard, so it's going to come down to who executes the best, who's the most physical, and who can avoid the big turnover.
You guys have had 2 good weeks now. What are some of the areas you feel the team has improved the most over the past couple of weeks?
The guys are growing up. We're communicating better. A lot less mistakes just in terms of who does what. And we had very few mental mistakes this past week, and only a few the week before. And I think that's just where some guys are starting to just mature a little bit. Overcoming the injuries that we've had, and guys stepping up in some roles that they haven't been asked to do before. I mean, our special teams has been a different group of guys every week, and so that to me is just where I just don't think we were capable of doing that early in the year. And right now you're starting to see guys settle in and really grow up on the run, and that's a lot to ask of some young, inexperienced guys to do.
Final question: could you comment on the game that Justice had Saturday?
Well, that's pretty efficient. I'd say 7 drives and 6 touchdowns and 18 of 20. We laughed last night. He should have been 20 of 20. He missed a check down on one, and he got confused on the other and worked the wrong side of the progression and had a guy wide open. He could have very easily been 20 for 20, and so we were giving him a hard time about it. But he played well. He was hobbled with the knee and played through and fought through injury. We didn't use his legs a lot, but when he needed to, he did, and mainly just made really good decisions, and he's throwing the ball with a lot of confidence. So really proud of how he's matured and progressed, and I think he'll be even healthier this week and do better, and it should help open up the game a little bit more for us.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Luke. Next questions come from Dan McDonald with The Advocate. Dan, please go ahead.
Morning, Coach.
Morning.
It looks like over the last couple of weeks your defense has sort of reestablished itself. What are you doing defensively maybe over the last couple of weeks that maybe you weren't able to do earlier in the year?
Well, I think as much as anything, we tried to simplify as much as we could. We mentioned a couple of weeks ago, just Kyle Wilson and Blaze Taylor made so many things happen in terms of checks and corrections and adjustments. And just the absence of those two guys, we just felt the need to truly simplify some of the rules and some of the checks and some of the things we're doing and just let guys play. And I believe we've owned the line of scrimmage, which is our strength, our front, and we have simplified things between safeties, backers, and corners, and just have kept them in a little bit more comfortable situations the last couple of weeks. And I think it was not what we wanted to do, but we felt like it was a necessity, and I think the guys have responded well to it.
your team's been really successful in what you've been saying the last couple of weeks in keeping yourself in position in case things happen, and now you're in a position where something can happen.
Yeah, I mean, worst thing you can do is let the past drag you down or start looking too far ahead, and you just got to keep your nose, really in 1 week at a time, and understand if we do our job and we can find a way to win each week, that the rest of it will take care of itself. Doesn't mean we're guaranteed a shot. We just got to go do our job. But if you go out and you start looking at other things and you don't play your best ball and get beat, you look up at the end and your opportunity showed up and you weren't ready for it. So we're just really just trying to focus one game, one practice at a time, trying to get better and keep improving. And I think you're seeing that, and we're playing better ball than we were a few weeks ago, and it's given us a chance.
Appreciate it, Coach.